Problems. So in a previous video, we looked at argument structure. And one of the things that we said is that an argument needs a problem. In other words, there has to be something for the research paper, in this case, to solve. In this lecture, we're going to be looking at problems. First of all, I think it's important to distinguish between topics and problems. So the topic of the paper refers to what the paper is about, while the problem refers to something within the topic that needs solving. And broadly, there's two types of problems. There are pragmatic problems. In other words, something in the world needs fixing. So, for example, solar power doesn't work at night. That's a problem, right? So if we want to move to solar power, the problem is, what are we going to do at night? Another sort of problem would be that historians disagree about what caused World War I, right? So in that case, we've got to figure out what actually caused it. Another one would be ESL students struggle with prepositions. In my experience, this is very much true. So when I've worked with ESL students in the past, I find that English prepositions can be very challenging. And that's a problem. We want to help second language students to master all of English. Another sort of problem, though, is lack of knowledge. For scholars, not knowing something is in and of itself a problem. So if we don't know something, we want to fix that. We want to solve it. So I'm going to give an example to start with of something that a student of mine, way back when I was working with PhD students from different departments. And I had a student from the dentistry PhD program, and he was looking at fluoride. And what he said is, we know that fluoride works. We know that it works if you put it in water. We know it works if we put it in toothpaste, but we don't know why it works. And so his research was to solve that, to figure out whether it works because of contact with the teeth or because you have to ingest the fluoride. And honestly, I thought it was really fascinating, but I never got to hear the end of his research because at that point he was still working on solving the problem. He hadn't solved it yet. Okay, another sort of lack of knowledge problem is we don't know how children acquire a second language without an accent. We know that children, especially prepubescent children, are more likely to acquire a second language without an accent than post-pubescence, but we don't know why. Another one is we don't know why humans go through menopause. We know we do, or at least the women humans, the female humans, female humans go through menopause, but we don't know why. All right, so those are lack of knowledge sorts of problems. Now, more specifically, we need to get into the elements of a problem. First of all, there's got to be some common ground. What common ground refers to is what we can all agree on with regard to the topic. So you introduce the topic and you indicate what we agree on. But then there has to be a destabilizing condition, right? So there's something within that ground, the topic, that is problematic. So something needs fixing, or there's something we don't know. So in other words, if it's something needs fixing, then it's a pragmatic problem. If there's something we don't know, then it's a lack of knowledge problem. And then there have to be costs and benefits. So what are the costs of not stabilizing the condition? Or what are the benefits of stabilizing it? And when we talk about costs and benefits, it's important to remember that the costs and benefits refer to the costs and benefits for the reader, not for the writer. Now, you may, as a writer, have personal reasons why you're interested in a topic and a problem within that topic, but that doesn't really matter to the reader. The reader needs you to motivate them. The reader needs you to give costs and benefits for them, not costs and benefits for you. So there's a bit of marketing involved here, except in unusual situations, such as a college class where your professor is required to read your writing. Nobody is required to read what you write. So college classrooms are weird for all sorts of reasons, and writing a paper for a college class is super weird. But most of the time, you are writing in a situation where nobody has to read what you've written. You must persuade readers to read your writing. And good writers work to construct a compelling problem at the beginning of a paper. That's how they get readers to read their papers. If a reader reads the introduction to your paper and asks, "So what?" You've lost that reader, right? That's a reader who's not going to go past the introduction.